because I didn't submit the 56 yet. So just ignore that. Okay, we're gonna do it now. So how this is gonna work is, notice the number on the left for these splits or sub-splits. You have the left number is your number of spatulas, and your right number is your number of socks. So keep that in mind going forward. And we're gonna start now. I'm gonna take my time. I'm not gonna explain the obvious shit. So just to not waste your time. Obviously, you guys, if you want to speedrun this game, you probably played it casually, so you know how to do this stuff. Yeah, my outdated PB cam in the corner. Alright, so, but what you do want to pay attention to coming up is the hand disable trick. Please do not skip this part. You need to know this. This is very important. This is the most important trick in the entire run. So to disable the hand, you're just going to walk past this line here until you see this animation. Make sure your camera's facing this way. Press A to confirm the taxi. What that does is puts the trigger on top of the taxi pad that makes you enter the level, even though it cut the animation out. So you respawn and the trigger is still on the taxi pad. So to activate the trigger, just go back in the same spot, make the camera face so it pulls you into the taxi pad, and you'll disable the hand. Very, very easy. Alright, so now I want to explain like a basic mechanic in this game that's going to help you clear gaps. Look at how much distance you have when I walk off this ledge. You can jump all the way out here. I'm not even touching the ground. Like, you have so much space. You can do it here too. The time it takes for SpongeBob's position to update when you're falling is obscenely long, so you can walk off a ledge and jump like really far out. See this? I just want you guys to really take that in because that's important. Because this first jump coming up is not difficult, but people learning the game have a lot of difficulty with it for some reason. So again, just remember how much distance you have to jump off a ledge when I'm doing this. Like, don't jump here. You want to walk off a little bit and then jump and spin. I recommend just doing this, but there is another way you can just walk around. This cave area, you can just walk around this way and come through if you really have to, but I don't recommend you do. And here, you're just going to do the same thing here. Double jump, maybe do a spin to make sure you get it. And when you get the spatula, you're going to drown. So after you get a spatula in this game after drowning, you can pause the game while you're doing the spatula animation. So when we do this, we're just going to warp to Cowabungie spatula right here. And that's going to skip through this first part of Jellyfish Fields. Alright, so again, pay attention. As long as I got these numbers right, if I mess them up, which I don't think I did, I will let you guys know in the next tutorial. Or, well, actually, I'm going to probably redo this tutorial if I end up realizing that the counts on the left are wrong. Either that, or I'll probably upload like an updated list or something to tell you guys what the actual counts are. This is the same property here where you have the double jump spin to get to the jellyfish rock here. What you're looking for when you're doing this jump, because it's actually like, it's not hard, but for beginners, I see a lot of people mess it up. What I typically do is, if you can see the edge here, this little top part that edges out, what I typically do is run along that and extend my jump out. See, like that. So I'm going to stand on this edge, double jump spin, come across the side, and make sure you get this sock. And we need 3 socks according to these splits, see, 3 and 3. We need to get 1 more sock, so what we're going to do is go up here. You can climb up here, get this sock. And we're just going to death warp. You drown yourself here. You should appear back down here, and you can just walk across. But yeah, the socks and stuff I chose in this game. Part of the problem with routing in this game is that you have to account for needing to get 40 spatulas quickly before entering Industrial Park. So if you notice that some of the socks are slow, it's because you need to trade in 2 sock spatulas before Industrial Park with this route to make it work. So to do this button trick, it doesn't really lose that much time if you don't do it, but just face the wall, jump and spin, and you should get it every time. What you're doing there is just hitting this button as you come up. So the spin goes behind, it goes behind, hold on. It goes behind, as you can see, and it will cut through and touch the button, so you don't have to wait for the duplicated Tron to blow up. Alright, so in this tutorial, Jellyfish Fields is going to be a really short split, because we're going to do a lot of it later. So now that you're here with Mermaid Man, you can just pause and warp back to the Bikini Bottom.
Oh, I'm quick!
And also pay attention to where I split, because you should try to split there too. The reason why I say that is because if a lot of people are using these splits when they first start off, it's going to be a lot easier to like compare and contrast times with your friends to see like what segments you have if you're running on these splits. So say you and your buddy learn this game and you both use the same split file, you can see where you can improve based on like what you and your buddy have for the same splits, as long as you split at the same time. It's important to split at the same time. What you do with live split, I'll probably link the download of live split in this tutorial description, but you can bind split keys to your keyboard. So you press the space bar, most people do that, you press the space bar to make the split go through, and then it goes to the next part of the run. So if you've never speedrun before, that's fine, don't worry, live split's not scary. When you first download, it's going to be very bare. What I might do is actually make a layout, like a default layout for people to download and use. I'll see if I want to do that. I probably will. HS Durkey, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, as I was saying, I'll probably have like live split stuff to download and use. Okay. Make sure you talk to Krabs here, that's important. You need to get those mission warps for later. Alright, so in here, we need to have 5 socks by the time we get out of here, so what we're going to do here is collect the Squidward House sock. So we're going to do one jump here, and do another jump here, another jump here, double jump, hit this, jump 3 times, jump again, hit that, jump again, and hit the tikis. It's been a while since I've done 100%, because I don't do this sock in 80% in my route, but that should give you 9 jumps, so your 10th jump grabs the sock and puts you right here. Alright, cool. So now we're going to warp back to Bikini Bottom. And I'm going to show a bunch of methods for climbing Squid's house, because some people have trouble with this. So what most people do, I think, is they jump to this corner here, or they jump over here. So most people jump on this side and jump up like this. But I recommend learning it this way, is jumping on top of the nose here, because that's going to be a lot more consistent for you, and then grab the sledge. So again, step 1, jump on the tip of the nose. Step 2, jump in the center here, and step 3, grab the sledge here. And if you come up here, you get the golden underwear. You can do a double jump to this balloon here, and then double jump spin to the spatula on top of the pineapple. Alright, so now we're going to go to downtown. Now, what you should pay attention to here is your combo meter at the bottom. Make sure you're getting max combos. So you'll get better at this as you go. What you're trying to do here is maximize your combos by hitting these tikis quickly in succession. So you're going to want to quickly activate this. Come over here. You'll get better at this, by the way. Hit the tiki on top. See the bottom super ultra mega monster combo? Make sure you get those, because it's going to help you down the road in this run. In this situation, what you'll normally see, again, it's RNG, so I can't really demonstrate here, but what you're looking for here is if you see a combo meter Hold on, I can just do it again. If you're walking over to this statue and you hear a tiki stack break and you see a combo at the bottom, odds are this tiki stack broke itself. So what you can do if that happens is go to, again, like see it just happened there. So if that happens, you just want to touch this and go to the right instead. And then hit this. And then hit all the buttons in this direction. If you want examples of this, you can watch some of my runs. See ones where I got it and which ones I didn't get it in. It's not really that important, but just know that sometimes these stacks can break themselves. So you'll want to adjust accordingly. Like if the stack doesn't break, you go to the left first. If the stack does break, you go to the right. Just so you don't have to, like, if this thing breaks, you don't want to go over here and get this button first, because one, it makes your combo shorter, and two, it crosses too much distance. You can save time by going there first if you get a lucky tiki. But once you do this button here, or whatever, the button over there, you don't want to get the spatula right away. You want to pause and go to Tiki's Go Boom. So now you're going to do the same thing again, because we need to get into the Sea Needle. Super Ultra Mega Monster combo. Pay attention to that. Okay, so you want to be quick here. I'll show you a backup strat if you aren't fast enough to do it. You want to touch this tiki. Actually, disregard what I just said, because I'm going to take some time to explain this. And I can probably just say that you can, if you walk off the ledge here a little bit, again, you can get a ledge grab. Another important thing that I want to mention is that not only that you can jump off and walk off the side of these things like this, I think some people might get tripped up and do this by accident. Or like, see how I'm not getting enough jump height? Watch how I can just tap the A button to get a really short jump here. Like the height of the trash can, it's really short. But if I hold it down, I get a higher jump. So to reach this jump, you're going to want to press down completely twice and hold down, and you'll get up here. So you got to learn how to space your jumps and hold down A the proper amount. Make sure you're collecting these wheels, by the way. There are 11 wheels, so keep track of them. When you come up to this guy, you're going to want to lure him over here to this pole, this light post, so you can jump on top of him. You have to get hit for this to work, by the way. If he's spinning, it won't work, so make sure you get hit first and then jump over to get over this thing. You can get a ledge grab there. However, like, the optimal solution is to not get a ledge grab. Make sure that you touch this tiki stack over here. Don't forget to do that. It's very important because you get a lot of shiny objects from it. Alright, so now we're going to go over and get this sock up here. Oh, change the title? Okay, I'll do that in a second. Get that sock. So now we have 5 socks and 6 spatulas, right? We should? Okay. Let me change this. Okay, there you go. So now we're going to go into the Sea Needle. When I do this segment, don't pay much attention to which tikis I'm hitting or how quickly I'm doing it. You can learn that later. Trust me, it's not worth learning this on your first attempt. Just all you got to know for Sea Needle is don't die. Just don't die. Make sure you get the tikis. Don't miss any tikis.
Oh, I'm quick.
I'm not even going to show you how to do the third bungee, because I want people to wait for this chuck so they don't get hit off. I see that happen to everybody, like, all the time. So I'm just going to do very basic strats here. Don't worry too much about how I'm hitting these tikis. There's always time to learn, trust me. You're going to learn the game a lot faster if you just, you know, take it easy for a little. Don't get discouraged by Sea Needle, by the way. It's frustrating. It's hard when you first do it. You're going to be floating. When you first do the Sea Needle, you're going to be floating around, like, trying to come back up. Just know that if you get stuck under a tiki, you get your dive back. That's the only tech that you really have to know here. and don't get hit by the Thunder Tikis. Make sure you remember this wheel, by the way, because I see people walk past the wheel all the time. Make sure that when you get off the second bungee, you get this wheel. Very important. Alright, so here, I'm just going to tell you, stand on the side here, the side of this platform, wait for him to throw, walk to the left. And that should help you avoid him. So, again, just do that. You can attack him to make sure he doesn't attack you back. Now, look, see, it's going to look a lot like this, because this is off cycle for me. Trust me, like, if you don't know the strats, which you shouldn't have to know when you first start, it's going to look like a lot like this. You're just going to be floating helplessly. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. We've all been there. As long as you don't die, you're fine. Trust me. Alright, so you should get the fanfare sound if you get all the tikis. And you can just come over here, hit this button, get this wheel, and get the spatula. Alright, so we have 7 spatulas and 5 socks now. Keep an eye on the splits, by the way. Again, if you want to go back to any parts in this tutorial, you can also, like, when you're going through the scroll wheel on YouTube, the line where you move the dot around to skip the parts in the video, you can also, like, see which part's highlighted and go back to it based on that.
Oh, I'm quick.
Yeah, don't forget wheels. People forget wheels all the time. Make sure you're getting the wheels. Pay very close attention to where they are and count them out. Alright, so just gonna get that wheel here. Again, you do 2 full jumps to make this jump. If you do 2, you're not gonna be able to make it. 2 short ones, you won't make it. So you gotta do 2 full hops. Now, this part is... it sometimes gives people trouble because they don't understand the concept of doing 2 full jumps. I'm pressing down again. If you tap twice, you're not going to get enough height. Just pressing A isn't enough sometimes because, you know, like, if you've never ran this game before, you might not know how to jump at full height just by... you might think that pressing A is giving you enough height, but it's not actually doing that. So hold down and hold down again. Do a jump. Now, when you hover over here, you're going to want to just, like, take the side of your thumb and mash the B button or whatever the lasso button is on the console you're playing on. Just do that. Just mash the B button to buffer it. And you should get it every time if you hover under it. If you look above, what I'm looking for is the start of this little ball here. So I'll do it again. Okay. Look for the ball in the sky. I'm going to follow it. And if you did that successfully, you should be able to get over here on this copper building. Make sure you get the sock. For this cannon jump, I recommend you jump on the tip of the cannon and then do a double jump and hover across. Alright, rooftops time. Don't worry about the cycle in this, just don't die. That's all I gotta say. Just, you'll get better at the cycle as you go, but this is all pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just going to walk through it. As long as you guys understand the concepts of being able to adjust your jump height, I think you'll be fine. That trips a lot of people up. And also being able to walk off ledges really far. Those are 2 key concepts that are important for this run. Alright, wow, that's just the trigger. Good old input drops, am I right? Alright, I'm not really going to go into too much detail here. Just know that whichever way you're headed, when the Chuck throws his missile, on the frame you're headed somewhere, the missile's going to follow where you were headed, so just know that for when you're juking Chucks out. I recommend if you're new, you should get the checkpoint here. Just a recommendation, it doesn't lose much time, really. If you can't make that jump, there's a building behind you can just jump on. Like back there, see it over there? You can just get that instead. You can go to that one first. This part's kind of hard for some people to get. Make sure you do your full jumps to get up there, though. that just takes practice. Any amount of time I spend going over it isn't going to really help you much. Just watch other people do it and practice it a lot for yourself. You don't have to skip the ledge grab there, by the way. You can get a ledge grab on that slide just fine and get up perfectly fine. It's perfectly acceptable. Make sure you're destroying these robots in the way, by the way, because you want to make sure you have enough shiny objects to do these things. The invisible wall. Hey, I guess I can mention that as well. So.
Oh, I'm quick.
What I'll actually do here is, okay, I actually won't split here. Okay, disregard this. I'm gonna go back to the invisible wall part. Thanks for mentioning that. Okay, I'm gonna explain the this part that you'll get walled off sometimes. We're still talking about rooftops, so that's why rooftops is still highlighted. All right, so if you jump too high, or if you don't jump at all, there's an invisible wall here that prevents you from going up there to get the spatula. So you want to make sure you time your jumps correctly. It's not hard, you'll get it. But if you jump too high, see, you won't get up there. So you want to time your jumps correctly. You want to just barely go over it, and you'll get it. All right, now that we did that,
Oh,
let's just go
I'm
back to the
quick.
lighthouse now. Okay, so what you're going to want to do here is attack this. Get the floor to break first. Now, this part is a little bit harder than it looks. Can you actually get up here? I don't think you can without this. Yeah, so what I do to set this up is well, what I used to do is you just stand in the middle, double jump and push forward, and you should get it every time. But once you touch here, once you grab this, you're going to want to turn around and grab this door. Like this. Trust me, this is harder than it looks. You can get a ledge grab skip too, but for now, like if you want to be simple about it, you can just get a ledge grab. And then I recommend here, either doing the strat where you bubble bash and do a double jump to turn around. Again, the reason why we bubble bash here is because you can turn around. See how I can turn around? Left, forward, right, back. Left, forward, right, back. It lets you turn around without moving. That's the purpose of this. So you turn yourself around, and then you can jump backward to get more distance. Because if you don't do that, then you have to like turn around and do all this junk without staying in place. It's kind of like a brace to keep you standing in place. But what you can also do if you can't get the sock that way is you can grab up here, and then you can do a double jump spin to get the sock, or just do a double jump really. So that's another strat that's useful. Again, make sure you know how to double jump fully, because again, if you don't know how to do your double jumps, if you just tap A, you're not going to get up there. Like I'm actually just pressing down really hard on this button. I'm gonna keep saying that because it's really important, and I see a lot of people get confused with it. But yeah, for here, what I recommend doing is looking down to see where the Duplicatotron is until you memorize the positions. Just fall off the ledge, hit it, come back over here, look down, hit it. When you get good at it, you can start anticipating where it's gonna go. But for this one, this is the one where you turn around and go the opposite direction. You want to hit this one first. Because if you hit that one first, then it spawns the other ones that are still around spawn a chuck. And by the way, that wheel skip, all you have to do is just like walk into, you'll get a feel for it. This thing can be a little bit frustrating at first, but you just want to kind of walk into here and you'll get it. You just got to get a feel for it. But yeah, as I was saying, if you have to hit the Duplicatotron on that side first, because if you don't hit that one first, and it spawns a bunch of like G-Lubs and tartar sauce robots, tartars, you want to hit that one first so it breaks, and then you can deal with the fodders and chucks that spawn. But yeah, make sure you get that wheel. Now we're gonna warp back to end of the road. We should have 12 spatulas and 8 socks after this, which we do. All right. Now we're gonna warp back to top of the pineapple.
Oh, I'm quick.
All right, here we go. Sponge glide. I'm just saying, if you're on GameCube or PS2, you have a big advantage because it's really, really easy to do this trick on those consoles compared to Xbox and Xbox 360. If you're on the PAL version, unfortunately, you can't do sponge glide consistently. But there is another route where you can go through Goo Lagoon Caves. I covered that in my beginner tutorial, so I could probably just link that. I'm not going to try to confuse people who already know how to, who want to learn how to do sponge glide, or who already have the NTSC version of the game. But if you can get the NTSC version, that's the preferable version. Make sure you get that tiki, by the way. You want to make sure you're getting all these tikis. As many shiny objects as possible on the way. Trust me, they stack up. Alright, so here we're going to do sponge glide. So my current setup that I think is the easiest for new players to learn is the one where you kind of put this, see these tikis over there? Over here. I kind of set it up like this. I face the tikis, and I walk until SpongeBob's foot, the tip of his foot, touches this red line. Now, make sure the tikis over there are between this bar and this bar over here. See how they're between? And make sure that you're facing forward. When you're setting this up, you don't want to be walking to the side at all. You want to just push forward, and if you're facing the tikis already, just pushing straight forward on the control stick will cause SpongeBob to get closer and closer to the area you want him to be in. So you can just keep tapping forward until you get to this area right here. This is what you want it to look like. Okay, now we're going to do the second part. Turn the camera until you see this. You want to see, I'm looking at the bus stop in the background. See the blue light by the pole? It's on the right, left now. It's on the right now. It's on the left now. Okay. Make sure you're looking at that pole in the background. I have it set up right now so that the pole that is attached to this light is barely, and again, this might be harder to see on a CRT. Just bear with me here. You see the blue light. You want to make sure that you're covering the pole, but you're not covering the blue light, just like that. That's how I set it up. So if you do this correctly, what you should be able to do is, again, pay very close attention to these steps and do them in the exact order I tell you to, otherwise the trick will not work. You want to jump backward, so you want to jump and then pull back, spin, and when you get up here you slam, and it should get you stuck like this. And if you do it successfully, you should land over on the side here, and it puts you there every time. Now, the reason why this is harder on Xbox is because you only had this area to land on if you do this setup. If you go past that area, you slide over here and die. Unless you get a 1-frame recovery, which I wouldn't expect you to do. If you land here, you're dead most of the time. But yeah, I'm gonna go over that again. Okay, we're gonna set it up. We're coming over here from the fat guy. We're gonna line it up to have these tikis in the center. Now I'm gonna inch my way forward until my feet touch that area on the ground here. I'm gonna turn the camera until I see this Xbox controller is very, very finicky. Until I see this, jump, and then turn around. If you turn around and then jump, it looks like this. Now, the reason why this is a problem is because if you turn around, see this? See how when you turn around in this game, he doesn't turn around like straight like this. When you pull back, he turns to the side like that. Does that make sense? So if you're turning around before you're jumping, you're not jumping from over here anymore. You're now jumping from over here, and the tube that you're trying to land on is over here. But this is just the slam timing that you have to get down after that anyway. After that, it's just the slam timing. If you overshoot it, pretty easy to recover it. Just press the spin, because when you spin, he stays in the same position, so you can reposition yourself pretty easily. Say you overshoot it, no problem. Press the spin button and pull back to put yourself back here until you see this. Turn the camera until you see the pole being blocked. But the more light you have showing, the better. Like that should work. Now jump first, 2 full jumps, spin. When you get up here, slam, and you should get it. Well, the reason why the hand is taking you away is because you didn't watch the beginning of the tutorial. If the hand is taking you away, it means you didn't disable the hand. So you skipped through the video and you missed the most important trick in the game. That's very important too. If you get taken by the hand when you do that trick, it means you skipped the most important part of the video. So skip back to the first like 3 minutes of the tutorial if you missed that, to learn how to disable the hand, because you need to have that in the run. You need to be able to do that, otherwise you're not gonna be able to finish. This part's really easy. Just set yourself up here to be on this red line. Now face, so SpongeBob is parallel. See his head is, his little flat long head is parallel to this tube. Double jump. When you hit the top, slam, and you should get it every single time. Really easy. And what you're gonna do is when you see the loading screen, you're gonna split.
Oh, I'm quick.
And we should have 12 spatulas and 9 socks. Okay. Don't worry too much about bumper boats. Just if you can hit the second section. Sometimes you can get the first one, but it's kind of difficult because you have to hit it behind you, and that requires like better handling with the spin, which you'll get over time from playing a lot. But if you can do this, yeah, that's all you have to know. Sometimes you get lucky too, and the boats will destroy the robots for you. Make sure that when you come up here, you get this checkpoint. Make sure that activates before you jump on the slide. This is another thing. Make sure you're doing full jumps. You're pressing down the A button completely. Also, shiny objects as well. Make sure you're getting the shiny objects on the slide. Hold down A fully, and then hold down A again, and you should get it again. You should get this. Again, like sometimes if you jump too far down the slide, you're gonna just want to do a full jump and then maybe half a jump. It depends on where you're landing, so you got to calibrate that for yourself. You'll get it. It's not hard. Then just drown yourself here. What is a little bit more difficult here is what I'm going to show you now is tower climb. Make sure you get that sock up there. Okay, so tower climb. I don't recommend you pay the clam here because it's expensive and grindy. Just learn the strat. Trust me, it's going to be frustrating. You'll probably spend like 30 minutes to an hour trying to get it, but it's worth it in my opinion because it's really, really expensive to pay that clam. So now what we're going to do is climb the flags. And you can just, what I recommend you do is not to go crazy. Just jump between, see these little areas where the flags kind of crease, where you, between the triangles. You're going to want to jump on those. So just like double jump. And do this until you get to this tube. And you can double jump and grab this tube. Double jump again. Now, this is the part that I'm talking about with turning around with this bubble helmet. Again, I'm sure you guys are going to be asking questions about this in the comments section. But really, the best thing you can do for yourself is just keep trying it until you get it. As long as you understand what I'm telling you to do, you'll get it eventually. So, this part, again, much like with the sponge glide thing, the second sponge glide, you want yourself to be, your camera should be parallel to this board of wood at the top of the screen. See that? It's not off to the side like this. You're grabbing this board that's in my vision right now. So you want it to be facing in a way where you can grab it. Now we're going to use the bubble helmet to turn ourselves around. And now we're doing a full jump and a second full jump to grab this. It's hard doing it when it's slow. But yeah, see, you're going to miss it a lot like that. You're going to get a lot of this. See that? You're going to get a lot of those, but eventually you'll get this. It's a very tight jump. A lot of people have trouble with it, so don't worry about it if you get like that or Like that. Well, you shouldn't, that's really bad. You shouldn't get that, but as long as you're timing your jumps properly. Remember, you're not jumping as early as possible, not as late as possible. It's the right balance of both to get the right distance and height. And you should be able to get the ledge grab. Now, one thing I should mention here is that when I do this, that you hear that snap? I'm gonna enunciate it. Ready? Snap. And it's gonna snap back again. Snap right there. The snap before I turn around. The reason why that's snapping is because I'm going as fast as I can. I'm pushing completely. I'm going from completely pushing down on the control stick to completely pushing up. I'm not looping around. Like, I'm not circling my control stick around. So, like, if you were to circle around like this, this is me circling around. See how it takes so much more time to turn around this way? But if I snap back, he kind of instantly just turns around. So you don't really have the distance to allow yourself to get that without turning into the sides. And if you have trouble understanding me explain this now, no problem. You can just go to my tutorial playlist that I'll link in the comments probably, or the description as well. And you can just go watch my in-depth tutorial for this, but anyway, the best thing you can do for yourself is practice here. You're going to warp to this spatula here. Slip and slide onto the pier. There is a version difference here on GameCube. So I'm just going to say, like, if you're on Xbox, you can just do this right away and go for it. Because the robot is close to the tent on this console. But if you're on GameCube, you have to wait for the robot to go far away from the tent. I mean, that's something that'll be pretty obvious if you just do it. You'll figure it out. Anyway, this stuff's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just going to go through it. It is 4:21 in the morning. I'm tired. First 56. What's the point of the bungee? The bungee to mission skip? I collected a spatula at the bottom. There's a spatula down there you need to get. Oh, okay. So this might be hard for beginners, actually. But what you want to do here is slam. Make sure you're slamming, by the way, to get your max combo. Because sometimes if you leave the level too early, you won't get all your shiny objects for it. But to set this up, you're gonna fall here, roll off, and double jump. Again, like, that can happen, like, if you fail it. So I'll show you again. It's a lot harder to do this stuff slowly because I don't have the muscle memory to do it slowly. But yeah, if you fail it like that, you can just drown yourself there and you'll have another chance to do it. So roll off, double jump, and you should get it. Get the sock. If you can't do that, what I would recommend, instead of okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. What you can do instead, especially if you're on Xbox because your loads are fast, remember the part when we were over here, we got the spatula, we were facing this way? What you can then do is pause the game and warp it through the sea caves, if you don't want to do it as Patrick. And then you'll spawn back here as Spongebob, and you can just continue back. Or you can just jump in the box and switch to Spongebob here. But it's simple if you just pause and warp, in my opinion. It's probably a little bit faster too. So then you just get the spatula here. And the reason why I say switch to Spongebob is because he has the ability to stall with this move. So it makes this jump a lot easier. You get up here, hit this thing with your bubble wand. Walk down here, and you can do a double jump. Again, like, this is something I never do. I just did a one-frame jump to it. Don't do that. I recommend not doing that. But I'll show you again in a way that I can probably, like, the idea here is basically that you have an extra spin to spall. Excuse me, hold on. One moment. You have an extra spin to spend if you do this. So you can fall here, you can fall, jump, and if you miss that, then you can just do a spin. I'll show you the spin. You can fall, jump, spin. Works every time. Really easy. Okay. So now we got that. We have 17 spatulas and 12 socks. Now we're going to warp, scroll all the way down to Patrick.
Oh, I'm quick.
Make sure you trade in your socks here. Oh, wait, no. I wasn't supposed to do that. Well, I guess you can. It doesn't really matter if you do. But, I'm so used to trading in my socks here 90%. Just pretend we have one fewer spatula for the rest of this until we get to Industrial Park. It's just going to be one spatula off for the rest of the time. Don't worry about it. Don't pay attention to the stuff I do in here. It's not important until you get better, so don't waste your time figuring this stuff out. If you want to know how to optimize your Poseidoms, I made a separate tutorial on it you can look in the playlist for. The purpose of this is just to get you through this game very quickly and easily.
Now the robot's taking a beating out there.
No, you're not supposed to go to Larry in this. That's an advanced strat.
Tactics and fad. The old clothesline move.
Yeah, if you know how to do this casually, you're fine. Don't worry about it too much. I'm not going to try to throw all these advanced strats at you. If you want to learn them, though, they're available. But I recommend just, like, using this as your baseline. Learn this first, and then after you learn, decide what else you want to add.
Oh, nice flying head thing move by Patrick.
If you're watching this part of the video because you got bored and you skipped around, make sure that you go back and understand the concepts of getting full jumps, walking off ledges, like rolling off ledges rather, and disabling the hand. Those are 3 things that you need to know how to do up to this point, otherwise your run's not going to work.
Wow, I've never seen such an electrifying match. The old clothesline move. Whoa, what an opening for a guy literally filled with openings. Oh, what an uppercut.
Sub 45 Poseidon, boys.
Nice move by Spongebob. This match is just about over.
I'm going to be referencing the hand being disabled a lot because people always forget to do that for some reason. I don't understand why. Like, people just don't pay attention.
Oh, I'm quick.
Anyway, we should have 18 and 12 right now. I'm not going to commentate the basic movements and stuff. I'm just going to highlight the important stuff. Make sure you hit this here. And then just go around this direction. You should be fine. You can come over here, hit him in this direction, if you get that spawn. Alright, so now we're going on to Spongeball storage. Spongeball storage is a pretty easy trick if you pay attention and, yeah. Pretty much if you pay attention, honestly. So bowl that button to make this trampoline spawn, and after the cutscene happens, you're gonna turn around, bowl this tiki stack in the back here. I haven't done that in so long. I can't believe I missed that. Okay, because I don't get that in my route. So for Spongeball storage, when you jump on top of a Spongeball with a double jump, again, it doesn't work with a single jump. If you do it with a single jump, he doesn't get his, it only works with a double jump. So you have to double jump over and land without moving. If you double jump over and then push forward, so on double jump, push forward, it activates. So you want to double jump, land, jump before you move, and then land again. So take it very slowly. You have a lot of time. Look at all this time you have before he transforms. So you have all the time in the world. Just like wait. Make sure you see that he lands. Do a double jump. See how much time you have? It's really simple. So just hit that button. We're gonna do this again. Get on top of this trampoline. A lot of people get tripped up here. Make sure that when you do this, you don't push forward, because people think like, oh, I have to push forward to get on top of the police station. Make sure that when you get over the police station, you just let go of your control stick. Very important. When you get up here, you're going to release. Now what I'm doing right here is I'm pulling back on the control stick to get stuck in this corner over here. This is where you want to be. You want to face forward, and you're going to push forward from here to this corner here. Press B and hit A twice to get out. Now the inputs there are just B, A, A. That just takes practice, but remember, I'm pressing B and then A again immediately after. Easy spatula. Oh yeah, also, if you really want to, you can get this underwear over here, this golden underwear, but it's not necessary. You can just jump straight down to the chum bucket if you don't want to get that. Alright, just come up here, do some wall jumps, get the spatula. Really easy. You can pause and then go to Chum Bucket. And now we're going to go into the Krusty Krab. I'm going to go more in depth with this one because you can mess it up pretty easily. Pause the game and warp to Infestation at the Krusty Krab. So for this, make sure that you go hit this chuck first. Step on this to activate it. It's very important because if you do that, see how it rises up on the tikis? Replay that if you have to, but the Thunder Tiki rises up from the Shish Tikis that are under it, and it creates a platform to hit the sleepy time on that side. So it makes the fight a lot faster. So now what you're going to do here is double jump over the ledge and hit the sleepy time here. Again, this just takes practice. Get a double jump over. Get a double jump over. Sorry, I'm really tired. Get a double jump over and spin. Pretty easy. If you do it quickly, he won't be able. It'll take you one hit to kill him. So again, just practice this. Double jump, spin. Should work every time. Then you're gonna want to stand up here and do a bowling shot. Should hit the Thunder Tiki and destroy the Chuck over there and blow up the Duplicatotron. And from here, you just jump down and you just finish up the job. Now, when you get this message, you've destroyed all the robots, you pause the game and warp to any level in Bikini Bottom. For that puts you in the main hub world. So, pause, and then we're going to go to Bikini Bottom. Just pretty much all you do is pause and go to the first
Oh,
section.
I'm quick.
Alright, now we got Dream. All I'm saying here is do not give up when you're learning this. It's hard to learn. Not as hard as it was to learn a while back when we didn't have as many easier routing options, but definitely don't give up on this. Trust me, when you get past it, the run gets a lot easier to learn up until rock bottom when you start cruise boosting. Yeah, I'm just like trying to think of a way to simplify this because I've seen people struggle on this platforming area. But what you're gonna want to do is just practice getting over here. And then just like wait for these blocks. And for bouncing ball, just go over here. Remember the concept of full jumping here. Remember full jumps, not half jumps or any of this shit. Full jumps. So you want to stand on the edge, full jump twice toward the spatula, and you should get it. If you can't get this for some reason, I've seen some people struggle a lot with this. If you can't get it, another option is to go up like this and do it the casual way. Oops. You can do it the casual way like this. I've seen some people do this. Just follow the bouncing ball. And then you jump on top of it and get the spatula like that. Pretty easy. And since we did that, we're going to do super bounce now. This is another one that you guys might have trouble with as well. If you really want to pay the clam here, it's not a big deal if you have 1,000 extra shiny objects to spare. The clam, I'll show you what the clam is later. It costs 1,000, but I'm going to show you how to do it.
Oh, I'm
way.
quick.
So you split there. You should have 23 spatulas and 12 socks. We traded in a sock spatula by accident, so we're on track right now. If you're paying attention, because we traded in a sock spatula too early, so it should be 23 and 12. But yeah, what you're gonna want to do is ball on this slide, face this block, push into it, double jump, and land on the spikes to get up here. I'm gonna redo that, don't worry. Let's try it again. I'm gonna show you again. This just takes a lot of practice to get down. There's not really much else I can do other than just showing you and describing what I'm doing. But it's important to bowl on the exact side of the slide that I do to get the maximum acceleration on the side like that. Then you're gonna do 2 full jumps, face the slide, push into the block. Face the box, push into the box when you do it, and then jump over to the trampolines. One thing you might get tripped up on here is getting hit by the spikes and getting sent off the block. Don't worry about that. You'll get that in time. You'll figure out where to jump and where to land. Again, ball on the side here. Push your control stick into the block when you reach this. And again, like there, what happened is my controller dropped an input, so I slid off. That happens sometimes when you run this game with an OG Xbox controller. It happens all the time. Again, like, practice makes perfect with this. There's not really much else I can do to explain it. Except bowl. It's very feel-based. And you also have to be able to react to when you land on the block, too. Like, what you're doing is you're jumping as early as you touch the block. So, just practice that. Practice landing on the block. Practice recognizing when you touch the block and start moving. Because you'll have, like, your sliding animation. And when you touch the block, the sliding animation will go away, and you'll start on your feet animation again. So I'll show that again one more time. Thank you, Serge, for the tier 1 sub, man. Appreciate it, bro. Alright, so I'm going to show you it again. Pay attention to when my tongue goes away. When your tongue goes away, you want to jump, but you don't want to have to react to it. You need to have the muscle memory to know when you, at what point you're touching the slide, the tongue should go away. Like that. There's not enough time to react to it, so you have to know when it goes away. And if you do this successfully, you should get the spatula. So now you have the spatula. What you can do is pause the game and warp to super bounce.
Oh, I'm quick.
And again, this is the clam. If you pay this clam, you get a bunch of trampolines to spawn here. You get a cutscene. If you can't do this trick, if you try it and you can't do it, this is not a terrible option. 1,000 is not that big of a deal if you're new. So that's an option if you can't get that skip down. Here, I'll show you here. If this is the backup strat. If you buy this clam, a trampoline spawns. So what you do is come down the slide. Just do this. You come down the slide, jump off here, land here, go on this trampoline, and do it this way. So that's an option for you. But yeah, we're gonna go to Sandy's Dream now. All right, so this is Sandy's Dream. Now, if you're new, you can route this out later if you can, but I recommend you do this for now if you're new. It's just go stand on top of this thing and jump off this way to get a lot of shiny objects. That's going to help you out later in your run. Now, again, if you're doing this and you have not disabled the hand yet, go back to the beginning of the video and disable the hand, because if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to do this trick. I'm going to keep saying that because people complain about like Sponge Glide not working and stuff like that, like and doing jumps on Sand Mountain and dying. You have to disable the hand every time you boot up the console. Every single time you turn on the console, you have to disable the hand. Okay? Even if you're practicing, just know that. Very important. So I'm going to go on here. I'm going to go over on this side, turn this way, hook around, and start hovering to get on top of this side of the acorn here. Now what you want to do here is just get up in this purple area and just mash. Get up here and mash until your head goes through like that. See this? Until your head goes through. And once you do that, that means you probably got the checkpoint. Go on the slide, stand the manure. That was not supposed to happen. Just, wow, why is this happening to me? What? Why am I getting so much knockback from that? Okay. That was stupid. Let's try that again. What the hell? I guess I haven't played 100% in a while. This is a strat that we currently use in 100%. So again, you do this. Get stuck in there. If you do it correctly, you should stand right here. Let yourself die in the manure. And if you did it correctly, you should spawn on top of this acorn. See that? You get the spatula and you're done. So now at this point in your route, you should have 25 spatulas and 2 socks. I mean, 25 spatulas and 12 socks, or 26 spatulas and 2 socks. So 25 and 12 or 26 and 2, based on when you traded in your socks to Patrick. So now, pause the game, go to Mr. Krabs.
Oh,
confirm.
I'm quick.
Now we're going to do the Mermalair. If you got past stream, the Mermalair is going to be a lot easier for you to learn, trust me. Make sure you get that Tiki stack back there. Again, the sock from here, I've seen people get confused here. The sock here is obtained by hitting this statue, not by bowling that stack of Tikis. So if you bowl the stack of Tikis and you come here and hit the statue as you go over it to get the sock, okay? That's one thing people get tripped up on a lot. Just wanted to explain that. Now, come over here, hit this TV. Might take a few tries. Get this sock over here. Now we're going to go to the Mermalair. Now the reason why I'm bowling into loading zones is because you have like this momentum going into this area where you can load out. If you just bowl normally, it's slow. So if you bowl into an area where you can't walk anyway, I'll show you again later, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, if you're on cycle here, you get a square that you can bowl on, like to get a damage boost like that. See, you can do that. If you're fast enough, you can jump through this gate. But I recommend not doing that. I recommend just jumping around it like this. Okay, so we're gonna cover this now. Remember, 2 full jumps, 1, 2, and you should get it every time. This is really easy. Just takes practice. If you happen to miss it, you get like this. No big deal. Just come over here, climb up the side like this. And you should be able to get one over here, get a ledge grab here to get you back up. Pretty good backup strat if you're going to miss that strat. Thanks guys for all the thank yous and the congrats. Because of the 56. Alright, so now what we're going to do is the Melon Segment. Get a little bit of a bubble boost here. Bubble boost if you want. Again, bowling there is optimal because any area where you can't walk after you bowl is optimal to bowl into because you get a little bit of a speed boost, saves a little bit of frames, saves a few frames or so. you know what I'm saying. Okay, so what I recommend as a beginner is actually getting this mission, because when you get the mission, if you die here, you can just warp back to the funnel machines. So grab this. We're just gonna walk up to this red line here, throw this. Now if you walk over to the edge here and come back and grab this, the puzzle should solve itself, and then you just press whatever button it takes on your controller to break the melon. Come back here. Now we're gonna do it again here. What I do is stand. What I recommend you do is stand on this line here and throw the melon so it lands on that thing. Pick it up and throw it again so it goes over there. To get that button. Another way you can do this if you think that's too hard or if you don't like it, I guess, is walk across straight here. You put yourself on this platform and throw it and grab it, hit the button. You can figure that out. It's not too difficult. And now in this part you just gotta dodge some cannonballs. Stand around like right here when you throw it, by the way. If you stand too close, you won't get it. Make sure you stand around like right here. So you can come back and get the spatula. After paying this clam, by the way, pay the clam. Yeah, it hasn't been submitted yet, so it still says the world record is 57:01, but it's actually 56:57. So grab this. We're gonna go up here and do the Towers of Power. Okay, for this, what you're just going to want to do is, just for simplicity's sake, just start here and go around in a circle. Make sure you're paying attention to which one you hit. All you have to do is hit each one once, and you'll get it. Pretty easy. There are faster strats, but just make sure you get used to hitting all the towers and not missing any towers, because it costs a lot more time to go for a confusing route here and then reset it than it does to just do it all in a straight line and know what you're doing and be sure of yourself. Okay, so make sure you hit this button, by the way. Don't forget it. Now we're going to do the Mermalair slide skip. Some people get tripped up on this. Not a big deal if you do. It's one of the easier skips to get down, trust me. But what we're looking for is, you see this light pole? That's, okay. It's this one right here. This one that I'm looking at right now. See it up there? Okay, let's go back. See this light pole? This one right there that was facing. Okay. That one is the one you're going to be aiming for. So here we are. We're going to just stand on the side. We're going to face this way to get stuck on this side of the slide. When you start to see Patrick rumbling a little bit, watch him. See how he's shaking a little bit? You're going to let him go off the side. And, okay. It's kind of hard to do this slowly, because you need to, if you wait too long, he gets too much speed. So pay attention to how long I stand on here for. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Go off. Go on the side there by the pole. Pull to the right, and you should get it. It's so hard to. I do this based on feel, so it's hard to like give a method for you guys to learn. But I guess like you do here for like 4 seconds. 2, 3, 4. Go off to the side. Go on here. Double jump, and you should get it. I don't know. Again, like, I'm just gonna do it the way I do it. I do it based on feel, and I get it every time, which is what you want to get to. But verbalizing is kind of difficult. Just kind of watch me do it. God, but you see what I mean here with this pole, right? It's so hard doing it without my my sound cues from the music and stuff. That should put you in every time. Alright. I'm just going to do it again because you guys should take a look at how I do it. Alright. And I like seeing something done multiple times, just so you can see like what kind of a range you have, what kind of a window you have for doing it. So I'm just going to do it a few more times. I can just do it once more, but I just want you guys to see the different ways that I can get it, all the variability in it, so you can see what kind of a window there is for doing it. One important thing that you want to pay attention to here is that I'm jumping after I'm off the slide, not while I'm on it. Let me show you what happens if I jump while I'm on the slide. This goes back to the idea of being able to walk off a ledge and still get a lot of, see what happens when I, well, I mean, that still works, but what you want to do that makes it very consistent, because sometimes if you wait too long to jump and if you do it facing the slide, like on the slide, that what will happen is like you'll go too far that way. So what I want you to do is get stuck here and roll off the slide first and then jump. But you don't want to do it too low or too far down, or you'll get stuck on the invisible wall. It's not hard, don't worry. But hopefully watching me do it is giving you some experience. And make sure you try it yourself. The best thing you can do for yourself is play along with this video and pause while you're learning. So I recommend not watching this full video without your game. Make sure you have your game with you, and that helps a lot. So now we're going to do Prawn. I've seen people not understand how to do this, but it's very simple. Just kind of run around, pay attention to the tiles on the ground, and wait for him. See these rings? When the rings go away, it means he's vulnerable, and you'll see the tiles start flashing. So he's going to enter his vulnerability soon. Wait for it, look for the blank space here, and just do a bowling shot and hit him. Really simple. Okay. Wow, I just got hit. I just got hit on Prawn. Oh, you know what I just realized? I haven't done this in so long. There's a strat here. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. We're gonna do the strat. I forgot about the strat. If you walk on this tile here, you just get kind of stuck up in front of him. And then when he stops, you can just bowl him. So pay attention to the tile that I was walking on, because if you walk on the tile to the left or the right, it might not work. So make sure you're doing it on this one. And then you wait for him for that to happen. You just keep walking. Again, this is a reason why you might want to get 6 pairs of underwear, because it can help you a lot if you're on the verge of dying here. I haven't done this since 2016. This is fucking hilarious. I haven't done this in so long, since I routed the fight out of the game. I routed this out, and I put it in the end of the game instead with Prawn skip. So yeah, if you do that successfully, then on GameCube, what you're gonna want to do is mash violently and pull away, because if you don't, then you get stuck in there and you have to reload the level. Because on GameCube, you don't get teleported over there, but on Xbox and PS2 you do. So you just grab the spatula. The reason why we're not covering Prawn skip in this tutorial is because you need to have 40 spatulas to get into Industrial Park. So then you just split here and go on the security tunnel. Now at this point you should have 30 spatulas and 4 socks, or 29 spatulas and 14 socks. So we're going to go up to the security tunnel now. I'm going to show a couple of different strats for this because some people have trouble with it. If you can't do this, perfectly fine. If you can't do it, it's okay. You can just do the casual way and go up the security tunnel, which is that way. So you can go up the tunnel that way. Okay, but what I'm going to show you here is the current fastest method for doing this. Get rid of these chucks just so you don't get hurt by them or get, fucked over. So don't leave any robots. See this little pointer on this little angle here? The point? I'm gonna, same thing with Jellyfish Rock. I'm gonna use this pointer to face the little flowers. See the little yellow flowers? The little faded tan flowers over there? I'm gonna face the pointer, jump off this way, and it should put you here. And you're gonna do a double jump. Double jump spin works better. But you should eventually get up like that. So that puts you up here. And then this part is a little bit more difficult. You're going to wait for this thing to come back or forward. Bash into it, double jump. I wasted a lot of lives fucking around. Alright, I'll show you again in one motion. So you're gonna get rid of these guys up here. This edge, you're gonna walk off the edge into the little corner over here, the little corner, this, you can't really see. There's like a little corner of this wall here you're gonna jump into. And you're gonna jump up. Whichever side this top turret's on, wait for it to come back to you, bash into it, double jump, land on the top there, and jump up here. You can also do it on this side too, if you're fast enough. Wow, juked me out. All right, I'll do it in one full motion because that's what I'm used to doing. You can see it a lot better from my perspective doing it the way I do it. If you do it quickly, you're gonna end up here, bash into it, double jump here, jump up to the ledge, hit him with a bowling shot, and make sure you get this button. If you're having trouble hitting this button, just stand from this distance over by the rocks and fully charge it, rather than just doing this. Fully charge it, just like hold down the B button all the way and release it, and you should get it. Oh yeah. In this tutorial, we're gonna go over the ballroom.
Oh,
So,
I'm
you're
quick.
here, and I'm gonna teach you guys how to do the rolling ballroom. Because we need 40 spatulas to get to the industrial park. So over here, talking to Mr. Krabs,
There's gold under that black.
press A to drop the ball. Hit this button over here, and hit this wheel over here to start the ball on its trail. Then you can just bowl this thing here. Alright, I was a little bit slow explaining, but this ball should go into the cup. Let's just restart that. Okay. If you ever fail it like that, you can just hit this button to drop another one. While you're waiting for this to come, you can just bowl these guys in the back. And I'll show you what your visual cue is. Just get a bowl off on this guy to get more shiny objects if you can. Turn the camera this way. When you see the ball on your screen, right about now, you can bowl this button. Do a full charge bowl, and the cup should come down. And it should be in the cup now. Stand on this foot pedal. While the ball's coming, you can try and hit this guy, snipe him out so he doesn't mess with you. Now you're going to want to hit this button to make the hammer go up. Now over here, pay attention to my movements. I'm going to stand in the center here, wait for it to bounce off, travel up a little bit, and then walk to the right, and it should go in every time. Wow, it didn't go in. Okay, well, that's cool. I haven't done this in like 2 or 3 months, so let's try that again. Yeah, pretty much all you're doing is you're waiting. I mean, that should have gone in. I just kind of got fucked over. There was no reason for that not to go in. It's so dumb. Alright, so again, we're going to wait. Up. There we go. Again. Trying to explain this while doing it kind of messes with my muscle memory. So it's a little bit harder to do it when I'm talking about it. So I already explained what to do. Just observe my movements and see what I do. Because I do it very much based on feel. You want to typically stand on that side though. It really is hard to explain these more field-based tricks while you're talking and telling people what to do. Because like you're saying one thing, but in your mind different stuff's going on. And your muscles are doing different things. Like you're kind of arguing with your muscles a little bit. Make sure you remember the sock, by the way. Remember the sock. Pause and warp to the rolling ballroom. And you should get the spatula this way. If you didn't get the button on your first time, get the button now. And just walk across, and we're going to exit the Mermalair. You should have 32 and 5, or 33 and 15. I mean, excuse me. You should exit here having 33 and 15, or 34 and 5, my bad. But yeah, see that? 34 and 5, or 33 and 15. So now we're going to warp back to Shady Shoals.
Oh, I'm quick.
You got to be quick to make this cycle. Not a big deal if you aren't, but just try to bowl immediately. Jump on this trampoline. Turn completely around. The block will spawn under you. Okay, if you need them, you can drop down and get these shiny objects. Now we're going to just do Sand Mountain. This stuff's pretty self-explanatory. Just pay attention to the tikis I hit on the slope and you'll be fine. Because remember, the objective here is to replenish your shiny objects. Because you have to pay a lot to get in.
Oh,
excuse me, I didn't mean to split there. Alright.
I've gone.
Make sure you press A to accept the time challenge, by the way.
You've just met the Sponginator.
Get the sock over here. Okay, wait for this guy. Bait him to throw over there. And then jump through here. That strat's optional. You don't have to do that. You can just go around and get the sock. Make sure you get hit by some of these tikis to get some shiny objects from them.
There's nothing like the smell of bubbles in the morning. Smells like...
Alright, so for beginners, go to this side. If you're close to dying, what you can do is actually get this checkpoint over here. So jump over here, get the checkpoint if you want. You don't have to, though. You're going to want to bowl this guy. Time another bowl to hit the button after he breaks. Come over here. And do the same thing to this guy over here. Drop down, maybe get that tiki. Again, anything you can possibly get on your way, you're going to want to get. Because it's going to help you later. And then when you realize, like, oh, I have too many shiny objects ending, you can adjust that later. You can also get this over here if you want.
There's nothing like the...
Alright, so now we have to get this sock under here. And the reason why I've been saying it's going to be okay after Industrial Park is we're going to trade our socks in. Come up here, switch to Sandy. Again, on our way, we want to get as many as we can, so we hit that guy. You can come up here, grab ledge, or what you can do is jump up, do a kick, get stuck in it, and yeah. Again, muscle memory based things, hard to do when you're talking about them. Come up here, grab this. And spatula. And again, you need to have the hand disabled to get this spatula. Say it again, if you don't know how to disable the hand, go back to the beginning of the video and learn how to. Get this tiki here. Wait for this guy to throw his missile. Hover above the spatula and drop on, get it. Yeah, there you go. If you happen to miss the spatula, you can just warp back to, it's not top of the, yeah, it's top of the lodge, right? You can just warp back to here if you miss it. No big deal. And you can attempt to do it again. But yeah, after you end up in this ditch, after you're here, you're going to want to pause the game and scroll down to Patrick. and split.
Oh, I'm quick.
Now, Industrial Park, if you followed the tutorial that I'm doing now, where I accidentally traded in 10 socks before Poseidon, you might have 39 spatulas and 10 socks at this point. But if you followed the route that I have on my splits, the difference is you just waited longer to trade in your socks. So you should either have 38 spatulas and 20 socks, or 39 spatulas and 10 socks. But either way, after you come here, you trade to Patrick and you get 40. And you can just pause the game, go to Shady Shoals, and we're going to enter Industrial Park. Pretty much here, I'm not going to throw a bunch of bullshit down your mouth. All you got to know here is just don't die and don't get hit. Don't get hit and don't die, and you'll be just fine. That's perfectly fine for starting off, so don't worry too much about the advanced strats.
Yikes! Looks like SpongeBob's in for a rough ride.
How you guys doing tonight? I usually wait over here because it's harder for him to hit me.
That's the ticket.
Exactly. No matter what you do not get hit and do not die. Don't get hit. Don't extend your cycles. You lose so much time from getting hit and dying. Just don't do it. Trust me. If you go slowly, you'll be much more successful. You'll pick up the more advanced strats as you go, trust me. From watching streamers and other advanced tutorials in my playlist, you'll figure it out. Now for this, what you can do, if you want to, is get up here and land on this thing and just stand up here and wait for him to finish. Or you can just do lasso stalling like this. Once you do that, just stand over here. If there are boxes down here, you can do it over here. But if you're new, I recommend you do it over here. What you want to do is get hit by his vomit to end his cycle early. The vomit interruption is crucial. That's when it's okay to get hit. You only want to get hit to interrupt his vomit. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that if you're new though. On those boxes, you should do it on the because like the boxes only spawn if you pull the lassos. And managing the boxes is a little bit harder if you're newer. So I recommend just do it here for now. Again, you want to just avoid dying. That only saves like frames. It's not really a big deal if you don't do it.
That was a doozy.
Yeah, wait for him to finish up. See where he's gonna go. Pull lasso, swinger to drop some boxes, and there you go.
That does it. SpongeBob is back in the fight.
All right, so for this, I'm just gonna say don't get hit. The safest place to go is probably the back on this side, just so you don't get hit. And wait for him to land somewhere. This is the safest area where you can stand. And when he's done spinning, you have to land over here. Nice.
It looks like SpongeBob has an opportunity here. That's the ticket.
But yeah, this area is very safe. Just stand here and don't get hit. If you're new, the most important thing is not getting hit on this boss fight. So I'm just going to emphasize that. Wait for him to finish spinning and then go after him.
There's another opportunity for SpongeBob.
But yeah, this is perfectly fine if you're new. Don't worry about advanced strats here. You'll pick them up later. Yeah, we're going to split over here.
Oh, I'm
Now we're
quick.
going to talk about cruise boosting, everyone's favorite trick. Pause and go to Shady Shoals. And now I'm going to teach you guys how to cruise boost. If you jump over the taxi here with this trampoline, you save a second. It's a pretty easy strat.
Welcome to the...
Alright, so now we're going to go over cruise boosting. If you want more advanced tutorials on this, I have this in my playlist, but this is probably the part where you really want to pay attention because this is going to determine how quickly you can move for the rest of the run. Cruise boosting, okay. Common misconception is that cruise boosting is just your bubble bowl speed. This stacked onto your running speed. That's not what it is. Cruise boosting is whatever base speed you have plus the speed that you captured when you're walking at that time or moving at that time. So if I'm walking into this candy machine, this momentum that I have walking to the left here is actually what's going to stack on. So when I hit the cruise bubble, trigger, or bumper, or button at the same time I press the bubble bowl button. So if I hit them on the same frame, which is why it's going to take you hours to get this down, or even get it once. It's going to take a long time for you to get this down, so don't be discouraged if it takes you like 3 hours or 4 hours to even get it once. I'm dead serious. It might take you that long, and that's perfectly normal. That's fine. Don't worry about it. But you want to learn against this candy machine. I'd say learn against the back of the candy machine, because if you mess it up, you'll get this, where you accidentally activate the cutscene Easter egg there. So I'd recommend learning it on the back of this thing here. But in your runs, I recommend doing it here. So learning it, do it at the back of the candy machine. And what you want to do is pay attention to how when I push forward, when I push completely forward on the control stick, I'm slowly inching to the right or left. On the left side, I get pushed this way and this way. That's because this game has terrible hit collision or collision detection. So if I push forward, I still have speed. So what you want to do here is do the first frame perfect input, cruise bubble and bubble bowl in the same frame. You should get this. You get a ticking noise. Good. It means you got your first slow cruise boost. Now, see how I'm slowly moving? That's because this speed over here, when I was walking forward, see how slow this is? I just captured that, and now that speed of walking into the candy machine is now stacked onto my running speed. So as you can see, I'm a little bit faster, but it's nothing useful yet. What we want to do is now get another cruise boost by capturing the side momentum that we're going to do. That's how you get a fast one. So I pull to the left and right here. See how fast this is? Much faster than just doing this, right? When I do this, this is what we're trying to capture here. The left and right movement. So you do the first one to make it so SpongeBob faces this wall. But now, you can do this now because you had the first cruise boost active, because you're constantly being pushed into this wall. So you're always facing it. If you don't have that first cruise boost, this will happen. But once you get the cruise boost, this happens. So that sets you up for the second part. All I'm doing here, observe which way I'm moving when I push forward. See how I'm being pushed to the right? And see how here I'm being pushed to the left? If you're being pushed to the right, you want to do hold left and do it again for your second cruise boost. If you're being pushed to the left, sorry, hold on, it's kind of hard to demonstrate. See how I'm being pushed to the left here? Your first one, pull to the right and do your second one. You always want to pull, for your second cruise boost, you always want to pull in the opposite direction that the candy machine is pushing you. And if you do that, you should get this, which gives you your really fast cruise boosting speed. So, let's do that again. This is why it's important to pay attention in this part, because you're going to use this a lot. So, see this? See how it's pushing me to the left? In this situation, I'm going to cruise boost, and then as this animation is going, I'm going to move my control stick to the right and do it again. After that blows up, I'm going to do my second input. So right now, I get the first one. Now I have my control stick in the right position. I do this again. I think it would be best for me to maybe show a hand cam on this. Possibly. Hey guys, what's up? I have a lot of shit down there. I'm not a Mets fan. That's my friend's bag. I have electrical tape on my controller because my hands are really sweaty, and I have like little rubber bumpers on the sticks because I have like finger problems. I don't know if you can see that, but I have like calluses on my fingers, and I also like my hands are so big that I can't play like this. I have to play like this, so. I have the same problem that Bouncy Boy has, where he has to use the pads to keep his thumbs from hurting. Because I guess we both have big hands, so that's why I have like the stuff on here. But yeah, pay attention. I'm pushing forward. Just like kind of watch me do it. You already know how to do it, so just watch me do it. My shorts are riding up my ass. All right, ready? Gives you a cruise boost. Now we're gonna go back again. See that? Pay attention to which way I notice I'm sliding. See that? Now, if you do that, and you notice that you don't get a slide, again, you'll get a feel for this the more you do it. It's kind of hard to explain, but you get a feel for it as you go. You'll know when you have it and when you don't. If you happen to do this and you don't see any movement, see how I'm not moving here? That means that you missed it the first time. No big deal. You can just keep going until you get it. And then you'll know when you have it when it's like this. So you do this. If you miss it the second time, you'll notice actually by, see how again? See how he's not really moving anywhere? He's kind of just stuck there. But if I do it again, if I do it successfully, he's going to kind of like push himself a lot more violently to the left or right. You notice there? This is a miss, 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 and this is a hit. But again, it's more subtle. A lot of them are very subtle. Sometimes you'll really know when it happens, but getting used to the subtlety of knowing when it actually happens, that's what you have to get used to by doing it a lot. It takes a lot of practice to get used to it, so I'm just going to show you how to do it again. So you walk up to here in the run. So again, when I do it 3 times, it means that I messed it up. You only want to do it twice. Doing it 5 times in a row does not stack your speed 5 times. This is the max you can get for this surface. Different surfaces vary, but just know that like you only want to do it twice. If you keep doing it like, oh, I'm gonna boost my speed by getting it 1,000,000 times, like that's not how it works. This is the maximum speed you can capture, unless you're on a moving platform with cruise boosting. So you do this. If you miss it like this, just keep going until you get it. You keep going back and forth until you get it. And that time I got it, so now we can use it to move around. So that's how you cruise boost. And with this, you can actually use the bubble bash and the bubble bounce to get more distance, like that. And this is kind of like a super jumping mechanic. You can get on stuff like this. Excuse me. All right, well, let's get another one. You can use this to boost on here, do a bounce. You can even jump across here. Are you starting to see how you can use this to cross more gaps? Yeah. Also, another cool thing about cruise boosting is that because you're not technically moving when you're doing this, see how my hands are free? My hands are completely free right now. So what you can do with sleepy times as well, because they don't detect your movement, you can just kind of float up to them and do this. So that's a cool thing you can do. Alright, but for this part of the tutorial, I am not going to tell you to do a cruise boost here if you don't want to. It's not necessary. So there you go. There's your 10-minute cruise boost tutorial. If you want more detail, you can go find it on my other playlists and shit like that. But yeah, don't worry about cruise boosting there unless you really want to. It's not necessary. Oh, I lied. Okay, disregard what I just said. You want to get a cruise boost here. Okay, so you're going to cruise boost here. Because we're doing a different route. Okay, you get the artwork here. That was not supposed to happen. The sign just messed me up. I'm not used to the sign there. Okay. So, when you get to that sign, press A so you don't get rid of it. So again, starting over. Cruise boost. Get this. Press A on the sign. Go across this. You make sure you talk to Bubble Buddy, even though it's really hard not to. Make sure you do that. Get a boost up here. Turn around. Boost here and slam onto this. This might take you some time to get down, because remember, because you're constantly being pushed forward, being able to do this is a very hard skill that you will develop over time. The ability to turn while you're cruise boosting, or standing in a straight, in like one area like this, in one position like this. I'm going to actually show you that on my webcam. This is what this looks like when I'm doing this. This is how my control stick looks. Both of them, actually, because you need to use 2 control sticks to move when you cruise boost. Because based on the way you're facing. So you turn the camera. See how I'm turning in place is a very difficult thing to get down. Standing in place. This is how you stand in place with a cruise boost. So you see like my hands are kind of jittering. Because I'm shifting my forward momentum to the side by doing this. So this takes a lot of time to get down. It's very precise. Don't worry about it. If you're new, you're probably going to be taking very wide turns like this, or maybe even like this, so I'm not going to expect you to be able to do something like that. Or like the really fast route where you RCB off of this and use your camera. This game will force you to use your camera in a very precise way, a lot. This is a very camera-based game, which is why I like it a lot. But it's very different than running like an N64 game where you have buttons and stuff to change the camera. You have to be very proficient at using the control stick in this game for the camera. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time cruise boosting. Also, there are no notches. That's another thing, too. Xbox controllers don't have notches. GameCube ones do, though. But yeah, here, you're just going to want to... what you're going to want to do here is turn around, jump on this, and get across here to get the spatula. And now, just jump across, double jump, spin, slam to get a lot of extra distance. And this is all very self-explanatory. Get the sock here. Make sure you get the sock. Don't forget it. Okay, now, this part is a lot easier than you would think. I'm just going to let myself float over to these tikis. Bash here. Okay, well, it's really hard to explain this stuff when you're talking and doing it and your muscle memory is messed up. Okay, so I'm going to go over this again. You don't want to move when you're going toward these tikis. If you move, they'll disappear. I'll show you. Watch. If you push forward too early, they'll disappear on you. So stay away from the control stick. You don't want to move the control stick. You want them to not think you're moving. Hover toward them. Jump. Jump with the bash, and then jump across like that. Again, this is just a practice thing. You'll get it down. Again, pay attention to where this guy is shooting. Because you're probably going to be in a situation where this guy is going to shoot you. You guys got to get used to that. Over time, you'll figure that out, really. Jump. Go for the ledge, maybe, if you have to. I'm trying to get a situation where he fires at me early. Because that'll happen a lot. Where he fires at you very early. like that. You got to be able to dodge that. So here you're going to switch to Sandy. And at this point, you should have... did I miss a sock? No, there's a sock. Okay, I forgot. I'm splitting later. Okay. Never mind. Okay, get this spatula and go in here. Do not worry too much about how quickly you do this. Just all you gotta do is just get up on top. Jump up here and get on top of the turret. Activate this. And then when you get up here, you're just gonna wait for this tire all the way in the back to cut through the laser wall. So it cuts through right about now. Double jump. You're gonna do a glide and try to grab the edge of this wheel. Walk up onto the tire to be safe. Now what I recommend you do over here is touch base here because it's a checkpoint that'll keep you safe. If you die, you can respawn there. Okay, touch this as you leave, and now because you do that to get the combo, obviously you get for shiny objects. Now you're just gonna double jump here and hover into the side of the tire here. The place where I grabbed is very important, by the way, so I'm gonna do it again. I'll show you again, but yeah. When you do that, get the sock over here. Here, I'm just gonna kill myself. But yeah, as I was saying, if you miss that, you can just die here and you'll respawn over here, which is a good thing. So you want to do that. You should wait on the tire until you see it. This is too early, or it's too late rather. Wait for this thing to go all the way back. Double jump, hover, and let this thing kind of like flow into you. And once you do that, go over here, get the sock, get this portrait. However, don't walk too far to the right, otherwise you'll activate this cutscene. So just be careful of that. Just want to show you that it exists, and then you come down here, grab the spatula, and make sure you get the artwork, otherwise you have to go through all this again. So we gotta go through the first wall at least, so get this artwork before you leave. You should have 4 artwork pieces, 2 socks, and 44 spatulas at this point. So now what you're gonna do is warp to get to the museum.
I'm quick.
And we should continue on. Alright, and now we're just gonna walk over here. Just gonna walk over here. Stay on this side of the cliff. And use the cruise bubble to hit this button over here. And that should activate the slip sliding away spatula. Now we're just gonna get us cruise boost. Got a cruise boost on here. If it's too hard for you to get it over here, I don't really think there's a better spot to do it here. But yeah, go against this wall. Cruise boost. Now you're just gonna jump off this cliff. Do a little bit of movement here. A little 6 slide movement. Get the sock. I'd say jump over here and get this spatula now. Alright, now we have the slip sliding away spatula. And now we can actually warp to it because we got it. Again, more warp abuse mechanics, so we're going to use the warp abuse over here to warp to the spatula.
I'm quick!
And we're going to go do lasers now. So you're just going to walk over here. Alright. Now, I'll show you both Sandy lasers and Spongebob lasers. I'll show you Spongebob lasers first. Honestly, I don't think I have to show you Sandy lasers because it's like casual. You know how to do it. Like, it's fine. Alright, so what I'm actually going to do here is... I don't know. I don't think Sleepy Skip is really a strat to go over for beginners, right? I mean, it's an intermediate strat, I'd say. Alright, we're just gonna show you this strat. So we're gonna do this. Use a cruise bubble to hit that explosive up there and use this to jump up here. You get a cruise boost here. And you're gonna get this artwork. Get the sock. Jump into here. This is all movement stuff. Once you get used to it, you'll figure it out how to do it. Once you're here, set it up like this. I'd say face this area you're gonna jump to here. Jump on this platform and try to get a ledge grab like that. Alright, so again, set it up over here. Pretty simple. I'm just trying to minimize the amount of turning you have to do, because turning is kind of hard when you're new. But yeah, make sure you use your bowling shot to remove your cruise bubble. Otherwise, you'll die. So just do that. Get rid of it. Get this. They'll be available probably later tonight, Killian, if I have time. Now you're going to get another cruise boost over here. If you can't get it over here, on this area, what you can do instead is get it over here. Don't hit me. Okay, never mind. Don't do it there. It's a bad idea. If you're going to do it there, just at least kill that guy first. Anyway, all you got to do is get a cruise boost here and you're fine. So you're going to want to double jump. I'm not going to make this, am I? No, I'm not. Okay, here's another thing too, is that like, I'm trying not to show you strats that are gonna screw you over. And I'm so used to jumping early there because the strat that I do involves jumping early. But anyway, if you die there, you can just do this, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, the reason why I jumped early there is because I'm used to jumping early for this strat that I do. But if you can't do that, you can just do this instead. This is a lot safer. Just jump to the edge here, double jump, and slam. You're gonna want to do this. Get up here on this platform now. What you want to do now is get rid of this guy, face the wall, and press this button. Get this. Now, again, like, as a beginner, this might be really hard. So if you don't want to do it, just do it as Sandy. It's perfectly fine if you just switch to Sandy and do it. So now, this has a lot of turning in it, so it might take some time to get down. Make sure you get the artwork. Come around this way. We're going to go back to this main platform now. Jump on this. And we're going to go up here. Again, make sure you face this wall so you don't slip off. Just like that. And now we're gonna do the same thing here again. Come over here, follow my path. And now over here, face this wall again, just so you don't die. And we're just gonna watch a cutscene. And when this is through, go back to Plankton, switch to Sandy, get your reward. Thanks, Kyle. Don't worry about it, man. Yep. So, now that we did those buttons, make our way back. Switch to Sandy.
Now,
I thought I was gonna get hit. What does my route do instead of the spatula? I get Squid's Dream instead. Squid's Dream is a lot faster, but it's a lot harder, so I'm doing this for beginners. The platforms are a lot bigger. Remember to get the spatula, by the way. Remember to trade in your artwork. Alright, what's next? I think it's Goo Lagoon, right? Yep, okay. So now we're going to go up to Goo Lagoon, warp to King of the Castle.
Oh, I'm quick.
Alright, now we're going to use the cruise bubble to hit this button over here. Walk over here. Just aim this general direction. I recommend doing your cruise bubble, your cruise boost against this area of the castle here. It's pretty easy. When you do that, you can just like boost up on here. Stay along the sides of the castle so you don't fall off and die. Be aware of the beach balls. And what you're going to do here is just get this spatula. You're going to drown. And when you respawn, you're going to turn around, jump in this box, turn around, and fire a missile. Hit this robot over here. Now, if you're on GameCube, or PS2, it's faster to walk over to Larry and talk to him, but if you're on Xbox, you can just pause and warp to the connect to the tower spatula and trade him in. Now we're just going to go to the Senile, pretty self-explanatory level.
Oh, I'm
One
quick.
thing that people don't know a lot, though, is that you can, when you activate this cruise bubble, you can actually press the cruise bubble button again behind this button to detonate it. You don't have to actually hit the button physically with a missile. If you guide the missile behind the button and you detonate it manually, it'll blow up. The splash damage will hit the button, and then you just wait for this platform to come and grab the spatula. All right. Now we're gonna go to Jellyfish Fields.
Oh,
Patrick's
I'm
Dilemma.
quick.
At this point, you should have 52 spatulas and 6 socks, which is what we have right now. All right, so what we're gonna do here, get a cruise boost on this wall. Open the box. Oh wait, right, no box. Okay, get the cruise boost. Go down the slide. Make sure that you turn to the right here for some socks. Now, you can get the sock up here. In this part, it's very important to remember to jump all the way around this way, because there's an invisible... I'll show you why you have to do that. If you jump too close this way, you'll activate this cutscene. So make sure you jump to the left of the trigger. But anyway, if that happens, not a big deal. Just got a cruise boost here. Yeah, jump around to the left of this. This is very easy. Do a double jump, spin, slam. You can land right here. Jump over here, and you'll talk to Patrick and get the spatula. Alright, so there are 2 ways of doing this, but I believe this is a strat that I found for 100% a while back, actually. Back when they used to do this in late game. Yeah, it is faster to do this. You warp back to Patrick's Dilemma.
Oh, I'm quick.
Now we're gonna get another cruise boost in the same spot. Oh yeah, I should mention that if you can try to pull backward on your cruise boost, it probably means it's slow. Like, I'll show you a bad cruise boost. I should have mentioned this before. If you get a bad cruise boost, like this, you can pull back, and you'll be able to kind of like moonwalk. This is not what you want. You want to get a cruise boost where if you pull back, it's like this, where you keep pushing forward. You can't really moonwalk with this, so you know it's fast. Alright, so here you go. Now we're gonna go and do this strat. Jump over here. Make sure you're doing it on this side because in this route we do dilemma late. We have to go to the left side to avoid the cutscene. So now we're just gonna jump and run under this lake. I mean, we're gonna run under the caves, excuse me. And this part is pretty easy. Just gonna run under the caves here. And we're gonna get rid of our bubble bowl. Get against this wall. And you're gonna wanna make a jump for this area here. Grab the sledge. And you should appear inside of the caves at the end. So now what we're gonna do is, you can get a cruise boost if you want, but it's optional. You don't have to. Again, cruise boosting is fast in areas where you can cover a lot of distance quickly. So if you want to, you can, but if you're new, I don't recommend it. I do recommend here, though, using the cruise bubble to hit this button. And that'll let you get the spatula over here. If by some chance you miss the sock in Jellyfish Fields, like when you get off the slide, you can just get a cruise boost and get that sock down there. That one down there. But yeah, then you're just gonna walk back. Now we're just gonna go to the
I'm quick.
Again, cruise boosting here isn't really necessary, but I guess if you want to, you can just go down here and get this. So you can do that without cruise boosting, and I'll show you how. You can walk over here. Jump up here. Jump on this. I don't think you can make this jump from here. You might be able to, though. No, you can't. But yeah, you can just jump up. Can you actually get up here? Nah. You have to go over here. But yeah. If you don't want a cruise boost, you can just do it that way. So at this point, you just trade it off for Patrick. Drain the Lake is pretty casual, so I'm not really just going to say much more than the spawns are random. And yeah, just throw them. Don't get hit. Don't get hit in the process of throwing these things, otherwise you lose them. They break. By the way, see, don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Anyway, every trick I've done in this run, every trick I'm showing you is doable on PS2 and GameCube. So I don't want to see anything in the comments about, like, I'm on this console and this trick isn't working. It doesn't really matter what console you're on. They all work. Every trick I've shown in this run works on PS2 and GameCube. And if there is a version difference, I had mentioned it. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned with cruise boosting, though, that if you're cruise boosting on a GameCube controller... Do I have one? Okay, so... GameCube controller, like this. Cruise boosting is activated not by clicking all the way down, it's activated by the analog here, right? So, see this? If you click all the way down, the digital key is not what causes it to work. It's this bumper up here. So when you cruise boost, you have to tap it lightly. On GameCube though, on Xbox you have triggers and they're not analog. Just saying. On GameCube, it's also faster to walk over to Mrs. Puff, I think. Except I'm not really sure. I think that's faster on PS2 only. If you go here, you want to pause and warp to Drain the Lake.
Oh, I'm quick.
Alright, so now you just want to get a cruise boost over here. Just follow the movement. Pretty simple. I recommend jumping all the way up here to do this and avoiding this pond. Get your wall jumps in. If you're new, I would say get rid of your cruise boost here and kill this guy and face this direction so you can see if you're gonna get hit. And I think in this tutorial we have 9. Yeah, okay. We're not gonna get the slide sock. Just know that if you need a backup sock, there is a slot. There is a sock under this area, and I'll show you. I can just like show you where it is. You can mash to skip that cutscene, by the way. I was just distracted. All right, so. Do a bowling shot down this slide, you get some extra shiny objects. That'll usually go down there and hit a bunch of tikis, as you can see. There is a sock under the slide down there, but don't worry about getting that unless you have, like, if you go in this tube here, you can get the sock, but don't worry about that if you're good on socks. If you have 9 socks up until this point, you're fine. Pause, go back to the top of the hill. And collect your spatula from Mr. Squidward. X. 58 and 9. So we're going to pause, go to Chum Bucket now.
Oh, I'm quick.
At this point, if you don't have 3,000 shiny objects, what you can do is bowl this tiki stack over here. Make sure you have 3,000 at this point because you're going to be paying Mr. Krabs later. Alright, Kelp Forest skip. Kelp Forest is a pretty simple part of the run. And I'm just going to show you how to do it now. Cruise boost. Wow, okay. Cruise boost, jump on here. Go up on this platform, turn around. Fall on this leaf. Double jump spin. It should put you in here. Alright. So I'm going to show you two methods for this skip. You know what, I'm just going to show you one because it's really, you know, I'll show you the cruise boost method and the non-cruise boost method. Make sure you accept this time challenge. Non-cruise boost method, jump over the slide, spin to get back. The other way we can do it is over here. I'll show you a bunch of methods, why not? These all work. But I think the best method, if you can get a cruise boost, this is the best method to use. Talk to him, get a cruise boost on this part of the stairs. Set it up to face this. Boost up. Turn around and spin. This is really easy. Just boost up, double jump, spin. You'll get it every time. And yeah, when you jump in here, jump here to touch the trigger to end it. If you're scared of this, you can just get rid of your cruise boost before you jump in the box. Like if you're scared of falling off there, you can get rid of your cruise boost before jumping into that box, but it's not a big deal, it's fine. But if you do have a cruise boost, you can get this and face this area to be pushed into this door, which is a pretty lit strat, in my opinion. Optimized strat. So now, the rest of this is pretty simple. You can't really see it because this thing's in my way, but I just walked into a spatula that I collected over here that you normally get at the exit of this. But since we haven't done this level yet, we're playing the whole thing backward. You can just get that spatula and then warp to the kelp caves. Alright. Now we're just gonna finish off Kelp Forests. There is a version difference here for loading screens, because PS2 and GameCube do have slower loads. Okay, so once you get this spatula, if you're on Xbox or Xbox 360, pause the game and warp to Tiki Round up here. But if you're not on those consoles, just like bowl into the water and die. And then once you do that, you can get a cruise boost over here if you want and run this way, but it's not really necessary, so you can just die and walk across. If you need more shiny objects to get to 3,000, you can hit these guys down here. The Tiki Roundup puts you right about here. So if you're on Xbox, you'd warp, and as you'll see, you end up right here. You can get rid of those guys if you need the shiny objects. Just keep backtracking. And we should have 64 and 9 leaving this. So you get this spatula. 64 and 9. Now we're gonna warp to SpongeBob's Dream across the dreamscape.
Oh, I'm quick.
Dream 2. Pretty easy part of the run, in my opinion. Get rid of this jellyfish so we can't hit you when you're trying to do this. Get a cruise boost on this box. Oops. Now, you're gonna wanna line it up like this and jump up and bash to get up here. Bash and bounce. So again, I'll show you the setup. Setup is jump up, excuse me, up. Again, this is not hard, just kind of jump up, bash, and bounce. And now you're gonna go up here, jump on top of this wheel, double jump, spin, slam. Now, this is a very risky thing to do because that can happen. So I'll show you a safer strat you can do. Here. You can just do this. bowl off so you lose your cruise boost, get the spatula then, and then walk across. And this is pretty easy, just walk in here. Dude, my neck is killing me. I've been up talking and streaming for such a long time. Alright, so now we have 66 and 9. Now you're gonna pause. Wait, did I forget the Dutchman's graveyard shit? Oh, okay. So I accidentally didn't make I didn't make a full split for Dutchman's graveyard. So it's just grouping into Chum Bucket Lab. This is fine. You're gonna want to warp to Mr. Krabs now.
Oh, I'm quick.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna fix these splits when I upload them. Don't worry about it. So now you should have 3,000 shiny objects at this point. You should have 3,000 shiny objects at this point. If you don't, you can bowl this thing. There are a bunch of things you can do. You can bowl that, destroy these, destroy those in the back. There are floating tikis around, like over here. They kind of circle this area. There are a bunch of those, but yeah, if you have 3,000, talk to Krabs, trade it in. Now we're just gonna turn around and walk this way. Get this. This is our final sock you'll be collecting. And now we're gonna enter the Dutchman's graveyard. Here we go. So I'm gonna go over some very basic strats for this level. Come over here, get a cruise boost on this wall. Kind of walk along this edge, jump on. Oh, there's a cutscene there. I forgot about that. I forgot it went that far out. You can do this. Let the Chuck throw his missile. You can jump over here. Do a double jump spin slam to get over here. What you can also do, which I would actually recommend you do instead, get rid of this guy first. Jump here, double jump here, and then like land on this part and do a bash to get on top. It's a very easy method. So here, again, double jump, bash. Now you want to get stuck right here, and if you do that, there's kind of an angle you can get where, hold on, this was outdated from my route by the time this was found, so I have to get the right spot. Okay, so if you do a spin, if you land here, so I'm gonna go over this again. You want to jump over, touch this, jump down here, do your bash, land right here, do a spin, and then it should let you get a cruise bubble out of that spin. So you spin. I guess you can just mash the L trigger or bumper if you want to get this, and then you should, after that, hit the goo tanker and be able to go down and get the spatula. Again, I recommend here, you wait for this guy to throw at you, dodge it, get the spatula so you face this direction so you get pushed in the corner over here. And now you can just jump on this trampoline down here. You'll come up here. Wide turn, jump on this tombstone. Again, wait for this Chuck to notice you here. He'll throw. Wait for him to stop. Now you can just do a double jump spin over here. I recommend here, because some people aren't really good with aligning their angles here, to get rid of this cruise boost and get this, because there is a visual glitch that can happen where your display will crash if you get stuck in a bad angle getting that with a cruise boost. So I'd recommend just not doing it if you're new, because you don't want to get a visual crash.
Oh, I'm quick.
This part is really easy. All you gotta do is just walk over and get this spatula. That's it. If you miss it by chance, if you somehow miss it, you can just do a bubble bash like this and touch it. It's so bright.
Great Barrier Reef!
Yeah, then you pause and warp to this area over here. You applied. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, man. Glad you're enjoying tonight. Do some wall jumps over here. This is really easy if you play the game casually. There's a strat over here where you can jump on this side and skip that whole area with the chuck. If you don't want to do that, there's a staircase you can use. But yeah, for this I recommend waiting for the boards to meet the cycle. As soon as it reaches you, jump on this side and just tap A. Don't touch your analog stick. See how my hand's up? I'm just pressing A. All I'm doing is pressing A, and I'm going straight up. So let's try that again. Wait for this board to go into place. And I'm just gonna tap A. Check it out. Just tapping A at the right time, going straight up. Very easy. Now, you can go around this way if you want to get the spatula, but there's another strat here I haven't done in forever. You can do double jump. You can do jump, spin, jump. Jump, spin, double jump, so. But, I don't know, if you're new, if you're very new, I recommend just going around this way. Alright, on to cannons.
Oh, I'm quick!
Alright, you can go up to Mr. Krabs because this is probably the safest place. If you get the mission warp before cruise boosting, if you fail and you die, you can just warp back to here. So it's good to wait up here until here to get it. This part might be difficult for you to do. I recommend just looking at this place with the paint. See how the paint kind of shifts from red or maroon to gray? Just kind of stand right here. Yeah, that's probably not the best spot. Maybe between these two lines here. That might be better. Yeah, just stand between these two areas and try to get a cruise boost. Stand here, wait for him to throw at you. You can slam here to get this button. If you can't slam it for some reason, you can just run next to it and do this, and that works as well. Now just go up here. Jump and slam. Excuse me. It's been a while. Do that. Now you do the platform jumps. If you can't do this, you can just do it as Sandy, by the way. Hit this button. You hit this, it'll push you over to this area. Again, the platforming, if you have trouble doing it with cruise boosting, what you can do when you come up here and press this button is go over here, change to Sandy, and then do it. So you can do that, and then just do this instead. But if you can do it with cruise boosting, it's preferable. But anyway, yeah, you do that. You boost up here, get the spatula. And now you press this button over here. Man, I can't wait to go to bed. My neck is killing me tonight. Jump on this trampoline. Get the spatula. And now you're gonna pause the game, and because you hit that, if you hit that chest down there, remember to hit that chest because you need to do that to unlock this mission. Hit the chest button, get the spatula, and now warp to defeat the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, I'm quick!
Alright. At this point, you should have 73 spatulas and 10 socks. So now what we're going to do is trade off the SpongeBob, get a cruise boost on this area. Now, for Dutchman skip, go around the back this way. You're going to want to do a bash. Oh, excuse me, it's been a while. Hold on. Bash, followed by another bash into a slam. This part's pretty easy to get down. So I'll show that again. Cruise boost, turn around this way, walk along the side, bash, bash, slam. Again, if you're up here, you can push off to the side and get it. If you fall, don't worry. You can go over here and come back up to start again. Bash, push the side, bash, slam. Now you're gonna jump up here, get yourself kind of stuck in here, turn yourself to face this wood chip that I'm facing right now on the screen. Do a jump, Okay, this has also been a long time since I've done this too. What you want to do is like try to jump forward to land on this wood chip. And then slam here. This is going to take you some time to get down probably. But yeah, jump up here, turn, jump, bash, slam. And the rest is easy. Just do this platforming. Now, over here, get stuck here and see this smokestack that's on the left, on like over here. It's covered now. Now you can see it. You're trying to jump, do a full jump and a spin toward the left of the smokestack. So you jump, spin, and you should get it every time. You can go ahead and watch it again if you want. But like, just trust me, learn the basic way of doing it first. After you learn the basic method, you can go ahead and follow it up with like better movement, but I recommend just taking it slowly at first. Alright, so now that you got that spatula, you have 74. Go scroll down to Patrick. We're gonna split.
Oh, I'm quick.
And now we're going to trade in our socks and go to the final fight. Now, I've seen this happen before. You have to learn how to do this. You can't just be like, oh, this is easy. I got this in the bag. The skip is free. I never see anybody mess it up. Well, the reason why they don't mess it up is because they practice it a lot to get to that point.
They don't serve love.
So, just keep that in mind. Make sure you pay attention to this part because I can't tell you how many people I've seen do their first run of this game and spend like 20 minutes trying to get the skip and realize they can't do it and then fight the final boss. And believe me, you don't want to fight this boss the normal way. And it can be you, so don't think it can't be you just because you don't practice and learn it. Because odds are if you don't learn it, you will have trouble on it. So, as soon as you get into this fight, get a cruise bubble off, get another one off. You should have invincibility. Hit Roboplankton. I'm going to set this up to stand right over here on this area of the platform. Now, I'm going to go over that again because it's very fast-paced. It's kind of hard to explain it slowly. What I'm doing is I'm walking over to this side. I'm walking over after I do this to line myself up with this area over here.
The robot better change tactics and fast.
And when he hits the platform, I walk to the right and jump to flame myself up. This is just timing that you need to work on. Just get it down for yourself. I think everybody has a different cue for it, but all you're trying to do is jump as the platform launches up, so it flings you up. And if you do that on this exact platform, I'll show you, hold on. If you do it over here, if you do it on this platform, sorry. So I'm on the platform to the left now. So if you do it over here, watch. It doesn't work because the trigger's not over here. You have to do it over here.
That's the ticket.
I forgot the cycles to this. I thought he was going to do the karate chop. I mean, the side chop first. But yeah. If you want to recover it, you have to do this. Jump on the trampoline. Go over here. You can do it that way. That's one way to recover it. And another way to recover it is by doing this way.
Suck it to 'em, Spongebob. Close encounters of the painful kind.
So you can do it this way as well. If you walk over here and then push right, that works too. But you have to know the trigger is right above where you spawn. It's not going to move. Give it some practice. It's a very field-based trick, so just keep that in mind. This is easy. This part's easy. All you do is just you land, you bowl this thing to have the double verification that either the Duplicatotron or the hammer bot's going to hit you in the right direction. Hit this. I recommend looking at this trampoline when you jump on it for now. As you get better, you can jump on it blindly, but I recommend for now just to look at it. And the rest of this is very self-explanatory. And make sure that the hand is disabled, because if the hand is not disabled, you're going to get taken by the hand when you do the skip. So the hand has to be disabled. If you didn't pay attention, make sure you go to the beginning of the video and learn how to disable the hand. Ah, damn, no sub 220, rip. Alright, that was a pretty timely matter, if I do say so myself. Covered everything in under 2.5 hours. Okay. So that was it. Again, I will say as a final note, make sure you learn how to disable the hand. Make sure you know how to space your jumps, as I covered in the beginning of the tutorial. Make sure you know that cruise boosting on GameCube is analog, not digital. Very important. So if you press all the way down the bumpers, that is not preferable. Just tap lightly on the controller for GameCube. Make sure you just tap lightly to get it. PS2 and Xbox, they're not analog based, so it's pretty, you know, pretty self-explanatory after that. But yeah, GameCube is analog. Remember that none of these tricks, except for like Sponge Glide that I went over, the only trick that's harder on a console is Sponge Glide, and Sponge Glide is harder on Xbox and Xbox 360 than it is on GameCube and PS2 because you have more places to land, you have more areas on the cliff where you can land, and you also have the Sponge Glide is easier to get stuck on. It's easier to get stuck on the tower, and it's also easy to land. There are more spots you can land without drowning, so keep that in mind. If you're in my chat, if you're in my comment section asking about like, I can't do Cowabungy, is it patched? Is it patched on PS2? The answer, no, it is not. Every trick I showed you is doable on all the consoles. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention in Dutchman skip, on PS2 when you do that skip, it doesn't teleport you to the spatula. It's like Prawn skip for, it's like the Prawn fight, where in Prawn fight on GameCube you have to walk over to the spatula or warp. Unfortunately, on PS2 for Dutchman's, you have to reload the level and hover over to the spatula as Sandy. But that's something you'll figure out on your own anyway. Like you'll see that on your first run that'll happen. But yeah, it's I know this game seems really intimidating with all the one-frame tricks at top level, but cruise boosting, even though it's a one-frame, like you can get it down and you will get it eventually. Even if it takes you a few tries to get it in a run, you will get it. It's not too bad. You'll lose like a second to 2 seconds every time you miss it, so it's not a big deal. Don't be intimidated by the tricks in this game. You'll get them down. There are some really hard strats, but I haven't covered the ridiculous strats in this tutorial. Everything you've seen here should be pretty simple for you to learn. So yeah, anything else I wanted to say? Oh yeah, I'll be uploading the resources for this as well. My advice on starting to speedrun, make sure if you can record your first run, do it. Even if you have like a webcam or something, you should always try to record your first run because you're going to want to look back on it someday. And also, you should always submit your first run. When you do your first run, don't be like, oh, well, I had a bad run. I don't want this on the leaderboards because I know I can do better. Well, guess what? Everybody feels exactly the same way about their first run. But it's good to submit it because it encourages you to beat it. It puts you on there. You can see where you stack up. You can check the people around you to see what strats they do and adopt some of their methods and whatnot. Compare against, I guess, your friends who also run the game. You should always submit to the leaderboards because it helps you. It motivates you to improve, and it shows you where you stand versus other people. And also, don't reset your first run. This isn't Mario Sunshine where you can fucking game over or have a situation where you soft lock on your first run. You can finish this run no matter what. So I'm telling you, no matter how bad it is, you should try to finish. Don't reset your first run. It looks dumb, and also it's not helping you learn the game. Your first run's supposed to be bad. They're always bad. But then the fun of it is when you come back on your second run, and in your second run you're like, I know what I did wrong. Here's what I'm going to practice to get better. And you practice that stuff, and you beat your second run. You knock it out of the park, and you destroy it. So definitely finish your first run. Nobody cares about what your first run is. No one's going to judge you for it. It's fine. Seriously, every first run is bad, so... And the sooner you finish your first run, the better you're going to feel about it. You know, running the game and stuff. So yeah, that's all I got to say, I think. If you want to make your own splits, that's fine. But I'm going to upload these for you to use. I'm also going to probably upload a live split layout for you to look at stuff like sum of best segments and like different timer comparisons and shit. So yeah, I'll probably do that. Have a bunch of resources. I'm going to put a download link to... I'm going to put a link to the resources part on the boards, yeah. Resource page on the boards has all these things ready for download. I'm going to call the splits BFBB Tutorial 2018 splits, and then I'm going to call the layout BFBB Tutorial 2018 layout. And you'll know exactly which ones I'm referring to that you can download. But yeah, I'm going to fix the splits. I'm going to make Chum Bucket Lab separate from Dutchman's Graveyard. I accidentally added Dutchman's stuff as sub-splits to the Chum Bucket Lab fight. So yeah, that's it. Yo, Jared, what's up, dude? Yeah, 56 finally happened. I gotta upload it. It still says the world record's the 5701. But yeah, that's all. Do you guys have any questions? Anybody who's learning this game have any questions or no? Yeah, it's late. I was on Cheese and Simply's podcast for 3 hours, and then I went out with a friend for like an hour or so, and then I streamed for 5.5 hours. It's been an exhausting day. My neck has been shaking. I'm so tired. Holding it up. Yeah, I know. I'm going for a sub 5640 next. No questions? Comments? Concerns? Harder strats? Well, there's no point in covering them because the stuff in this game is very self-explanatory. Trust me, like when you get to the point where you're adopting harder strats, you'll just know how to do them. I promise you won't have problems. And if you do, by chance, I can't promise you won't have problems, but if you do have problems, there are people you can ask for help, like me. Like I'll tell you, like if you're about to do a strat that's worth doing. If I didn't cover a strat, it's probably not worth it. But yeah, don't do stuff like Fast Nut. Don't do early towers. Obviously, early towers and Fast Nut are two completely different tricks in terms of difficulty, but they're still not worth it for beginners either way. I recommend not doing oil skip when you first start. You know, like the stuff that I taught you today is going to be helpful if you just follow this route that I gave you. Trust me. Just get some runs done, see where you stand. If you get to the point where you're like, I need better strats so I can't save time right now if I don't get better strats, that's when you add better strats. Like, when you have difficulty PBing, you should add more strats. So, like, say you get to the point where you have, like, a 110 and you're like, I can't improve. Add maybe, like, kids or add, you know, ballroom clip or something like that.
Big McThankies from McSpankies.
You feel me? Add strats when you can't improve. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Thank you, Jacobs, for the 50... No, Goo Lagoon cutscene skip saves a second, you can lose your run to it. It's not worth teaching to beginners because I don't want beginners losing their runs to it. This is stuff, these are things that you will learn as you play, trust me, like, you'll figure it out. I'm sure you'll find the way if you take the game seriously enough to learn this shit. You'll be fine, trust me. But yeah. Not much else more to say, guys. Thanks for watching tonight. If you witnessed the 56, good shit. If you only got to witness the tutorial and you're interested in running the game, it's also good. All good shit all around. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If there's nothing else I have to say, if you guys don't have any other questions, I can just go to bed now. Yep. All right, cool. I think that's